Julius, I feel like you accidentally stepped into a knowing in your life that most of us try to force. And by that, I mean most of us are not sitting in solitude, in the silence, in the stillness that we know we could deeply benefit from, just to be able to listen to our inner self, to really feel connected with who we are and what we need and what we want. You had no choice but to do that. And as a
Totally. Yeah.
result, it created something beautiful for you that the rest of us can't seem to find.
hmm hmm And I believe a lot of it, I totally agree, by the way, and I believe a lot of it was caused by just letting go. I sat there and was compelled to do nothing. And with that, I had a lot of time. And as the days progressed, I just said, okay, I'm gonna, I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna stop forcing reality to go back to where it was. I'm gonna let go. And when I let go, I think like as you said, accidentally, totally, um, letting go gave way to like mental clarity. Because I wasn't forcing my way to go back to where it was because that's impossible. I had a new life now.
Right. There was a surrender of sorts that
Yes.
had to come in order for you to be able to move forward. But resourcefulness didn't mean that you had all the answers to all the problems either.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
So, no longer assigning yourself the sadness that you found in the literal darkness, it was, you were learning that it was okay to feel great. It was
Yes.
okay to
Totally.
find some of that
hmm
happiness.
hmm hmm a turning point there. I've also talked about it in the Resilience Code. My family was always there, and they did their best to uh, keep things on a high vibration, so to speak.
Mhm.
I'm still there with them in family celebrations, and I was completely present and listening to them. Although I cannot see the smiles on their faces, the um, the pranks, the jokes that they were doing, I still could hear them. And at that point, you know, as I continued to attend these family gatherings, even with my friends, a truth started to come to me, and I started tuning in. And that truth said, it's okay to to feel good. The emotions that I felt from becoming blind are not the only emotions that I would be feeling for the rest of my life. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to have a positive outlook. It's okay to be at peace with what has happened.
I love that so much. And again,
Mhm.
it's sort of like going through the motions and the stages of the grief of loss of a person. I
Yes.
feel like
hmm hmm
the loss of your sight is a great loss. It deserves to be grieved. But finding
hmm
your way through that and moving into the direction that you did professionally, for one, is pretty remarkable. I don't think that there's a lot of realization in what you do in terms of your line of work of I don't want to speak for you. I'll let you certainly discuss that, but the IT places that you find yourself in
hmm
as a blind person, digital accessibility um, is amazing. And I'd love to hear you
hmm
talk about that a little bit.
Thank you so much. So, um, after building like the resilience that I needed, I think that's the time when the opportunities have manifested in my life. So just a quick overview. So there was I've lost my eyesight. I realized, I had to adapt. So what do I need to do? The first thing is I had to figure out what is my next step for my education. So people told me about learning how to read Braille. And there I was learning this new Braille system, which I'm grateful for because I still had my hands, my resources. And I was very grateful to one of these teachers who was a colleague of the teacher that was teaching me Braille. And she told me about a computer school for the blind. And that computer school for the blind opened a lot of possibilities because, using computers, when I became blind, I had no idea that blind people can actually use computers. And when I finally attended that computer training, I sat in front of the computer, I pressed the key, and it spoke the letter. So it's like, wow, imagine the possibilities. Even if I can't see the monitor, I will be able to type documents. I will be able to even browse the internet. It was the early days of the internet back then in the Philippines where I was. But it opened a lot of doors in terms of accessibility. It enabled me to go to college. This assistive technology that we call the screen reader helped me adapt, provided resources that I previously did not have access to. So I went to a mainstream college, took on computer science, and then eventually found work in the accessibility space, which is very dear to my heart because accessibility enables people with disabilities to use, interact, operate with, perceive, and enjoy digital content.